From Alaska, you can drive nearly 19,000 miles down a continuous network of roads all the way to the southern tip of Argentina. But there is exactly one place where this 19,000-mile highway abruptly stops. Right at the border of Colombia and Panama, the pavement ends for 60 miles. This is the Darién Gap, 60 miles of roadless, mountainous rainforest. Because of the terrain and the wildlife, this region was historically considered impenetrable. This chart shows the annual number of people attempting to cross that terrain on foot. 10 years ago, the figure averaged just a few thousand annually. By the end of 2023, the number of crossings reached a record of over 520,000. This demographic data reveals that the majority of these arrivals are fleeing economic collapse and violence in Venezuela, Haiti, and Ecuador. The Darién Gap is now a concentrated migration chokepoint. In this 60-mile stretch, hundreds of thousands of people are navigating one of the most dangerous wilderness areas on the planet. Massive displacement across South America and the Caribbean is being driven by several internal factors, primarily the collapse of national economies and the rise of gang violence. Because Mexico and several Central American countries have tightened their visa requirements, safe air travel has been eliminated as an option for many. This forces migrants to funnel into South America as their starting point for an overland journey north. This has also led to a rise in extra-continental migration. Individuals from Asia and Africa fly into South American countries with relaxed visa policies, using the Darién Gap as their primary corridor toward the United States. The hike takes between 4 and 10 days. Migrants face physical exhaustion, starvation, and exposure to tropical diseases while carrying their possessions through deep mud. The route requires crossing several rivers where the water reaches waist-high. Frequent rainfall triggers sudden flash floods, which have swept away and drowned numerous migrants. A different threat controls the Colombian side of the jungle, the Gulf Clan, the country's largest drug cartel and paramilitary group. The cartel manages the route as a business, charging migrants extortionate crossing fees. Beyond the financial cost, many travelers are subjected to severe physical and sexual violence at the hands of these armed groups. As border enforcement has restricted safer travel options, it has inadvertently created a multi-million-dollar monopoly for organized crime, turning human desperation into a lucrative cartel asset. Moving 500,000 people through a protected rainforest has resulted in a parallel environmental crisis. On top of human waste and abandoned supplies, local rivers are now littered with roughly 60,000 tons of trash. This pollution has led to the spread of disease vectors and outbreaks of cholera and malaria. The Darien is the ancestral home of indigenous Embera and Wonan communities. The volume of transit has altered the local economy. Many residents have abandoned subsistence farming, hunting, and fishing to work as guides and boat operators for migrants in transit. After exiting the jungle, migrants arrive at Panamanian reception centers. These facilities offer basic medical care and shelter, but they are consistently overwhelmed by the number of arrivals. To manage the volume, Panama uses a policy of controlled flow. Authorities register migrants and immediately place them on buses headed for the Costa Rican border to keep the population moving northward. This level of transit is erasing the cultural fabric of indigenous communities and degrading a biological reserve, turning a protected forest into an unregulated corridor. Given the hazards and the criminal activity, the question is often asked, why can't governments simply use their militaries to shut down the route? Both Panama and Colombia have launched militarized operations, but the vastness of the terrain makes it nearly impossible to police. The cartels are deeply entrenched, and their influence over border communities makes enforcement difficult to sustain. Enforcement actions can also create new humanitarian emergencies. When boat services in Colombia are shut down, thousands are instantly stranded in small coastal towns without the capacity to house or feed them. As an alternative to the jungle route, the United States has introduced safe mobility offices. These are designed to process legal entry and humanitarian parole from within South America. However, these offices are currently overwhelmed. The number of applications has far exceeded their processing capacity, leaving many without a viable legal path. The Darién Gap shows that when legal avenues are restricted while the root causes of migration remain, human movement does not stop. It simply reroutes through the most dangerous environments on Earth.